What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews, exclusively here as always on the Casa D18 Studios channel. I, of course, am your host, the Renegade JJ Williams, and today we kick off the Family Guy Star Wars trilogy with Blue Harvest from 2010, starring Seth MacFarlane, Alex Borstein, Seth Green, Mila Kunis, Mike Henry, Chevy Chase, Beverly D'Angelo, Rush Limbaugh, Judd Nelson, Adam West, and Ralph Garman. What's going on, everybody? Thank you for joining me here once again for another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews. And like I said at the top of the show, we are now officially done with the Skywalker saga, with the Star Wars franchise. But we still have a little bit of parody, a little bit of fun, a little bit of extracurricular to get to before we boldly go where no man has gone before. And today we'll be discussing Blue Harvest, the first of three Family Guy parodies. Let's get right down into it, shall we? Our special opens, and the Griffin family, Peter, Lois, Chris, Meg, Stewie, and Brian, are watching television. The power goes out, and the family debates about what to do. Brian suggests lighting some candles and reading, only for the family to laugh at him. Now, while they wait for the power to return, Peter decides to tell a story, and he chooses the story of Star Wars, beginning with Episode 4, A New Hope. A rebel ship is captured by a Star Destroyer, and on board are the droids R2-D2 and C-3PO, being portrayed by Cleveland and Quagmire respectively, as well as rebel leader Princess Leia, being portrayed by Lois Griffin. As the ship is being boarded by stormtroopers, Leia attempts to send an MPEG file to Obi-Wan Kenobi through R2. However, she suffers complications in the process, so R2 volunteers to take the message to Kenobi himself. Leia is captured by Darth Vader, who's portrayed by Stewie Griffin, while R2 and 3PO flee to Tatooine in an escape pod. Upon arriving on Tatooine, R2 and 3PO are captured by Jawas and sold to a family of moisture farmers who are raising their nephew, Luke Skywalker, portrayed by Chris Griffin. Luke longs to join the rebellion and fight against the Empire. And while cleaning the droids, Luke stumbles upon Leia's message inside of R2, who later runs away from the moisture farm in order to find Kenobi. Luke and C-3PO take off to find R2, but are attacked by sand people. Luke is knocked out by one of them, and then is found by Obi-Wan Kenobi, played by Old Man Herbert, who takes them to his home. Leia's message to Obi-Wan explains that R2 is holding the plans to the Death Star, and the plans need to get to her father on her home planet of Alderaan. And she asks Obi-Wan for his help. Obi-Wan tells Luke that he's going to need to learn the ways of the Force if he's going to accompany him to Alderaan. Obi-Wan then gives Luke a lightsaber. Luke then realizes that the Empire must be looking for the droids, so Luke returns home only to discover that his home has been destroyed and his aunt and uncle killed, along with composer John Williams. John Williams, of course, famously scored the Star Wars saga, amongst many other films. Luke then jokes that the rest of the film is going to have to be scored by Danny Elfman, before Luke breaks out his lightsaber and kills Danny Elfman himself. Luke, Obi-Wan, and the droids then travel to Mos Eisley in order to find a pilot to take them to Alderaan. And at the local cantina, they hire smuggler Han Solo and his co-pilot Chewbacca, played by Peter, Griffin, and Brian respectively. And they agree to use their ship, the Millennium Falcon, to take the crew on their mission. The group is spotted by Imperial stormtroopers, but they're able to take off evade the Star Destroyers that are pursuing them, and jump into hyperspace. Leia is imprisoned on the Death Star, where the commanding officer, Grand Moff Tarkin, portrayed by Mayor Adam West, has the planet Alderaan destroyed. The Falcon exits hyperspace and is captured by the Death Star thanks to its tractor beam, and the ship is brought into the space station hangar bay. Han and Luke disguise themselves as stormtroopers, and along with Chewbacca, who they use as a prisoner, set off to find and rescue Princess Leia, while Obi-Wan goes to shut off the tractor beam, as R2 and 3PO stay behind. Han, Luke, and Chewie successfully rescue Leia, and the four dive into a garbage chute in order to evade stormtroopers, and they end up finding a couch in the trash compactor below. Obi-Wan is able to deactivate the tractor beam before being confronted by Darth Vader in a lightsaber duel. Vader strikes Obi-Wan down as the others board the Falcon, flee the Death Star, and take the couch with them. The Falcon heads to the Rebel base on Yavin 4, where the Rebels analyze the Death Star plans and are able to discover a weakness. Han collects his reward for helping to save the princess and prepares to leave, while Luke joins the assault team to make the attack on the Death Star. The Rebel fighters' Red Team, which includes Simply Red, Helen Reddy, Red Fox, Red Buttons, Red October, and a pack of Big Red Gum, all attack the Death Star and suffer heavy losses. During his attack run, Luke hears the voice of Obi-Wan, telling him to use the Force. So he turns off the targeting computer, and then Vader shows up with his own group of attack fighters and is about to fire at Luke's ship when Han arrives in the Falcon and attacks Vader and his men, sending Vader's ship spiraling into space. Guided by the Force, Luke takes his shot, which enters the port, destroying the Death Star, and then returns to the Rebel base to celebrate their victory. Back at the Griffin's home, Peter wraps up the story, and the power comes back on. Everyone thanks Peter for entertaining them, and then Chris points out the fact that Robot Chicken already told that story a couple months earlier. However, Peter just dismisses the show, mocking it and its low number of viewers, which causes Chris to get upset and storm off. Obviously, that was very quick run through. We kind of already know the Star Wars story, but we had to give the Family Guy version. Old Man Herbert as Obi-Wan, I thought was just hilarious. Because if you know Old Man Herbert from the cartoon, he's creepy, he's pervy. There's this thing between him and Chris because Herbert's kind of portrayed as a child molester almost of sorts, because he's always trying to get Chris and lure him to his house. So having him as Obi-Wan was a really funny turn if you know the Family Guy characters. Peter as Han and Brian as Chewie made perfect sense. Lois as Leia, perfect sense. Meg popped up briefly as the monster that lived in the garbage chute there in the trash compactor, because they're always making fun of Meg, so she's got to find a way to play the monsters in these and just be that character. She'll pop up in the other two movies as well in similar type of roles. I absolutely adore the Family Guy Star Wars trilogy. And I know it's probably weird to hear that from someone who loves the real trilogy so much, because some people might take the Family Guy parodies almost as a slap in the face. But you can tell that Seth MacFarlane is a huge fan of the saga, because this one and tomorrow's episode, they really, really, really wanted to do. Corporate made them do Jedi. And you can definitely tell in comparison and contrast that the Jedi one is the weaker installment in the Family Guy trilogy, much as I feel Jedi is the weakest installment of the real trilogy. But the casting of the Family Guy characters into the Star Wars universe, I felt were spot on. You had all the major characters inside of the main characters in the Star Wars saga, and there was still plenty of room for outside characters to filter into different roles. You know, Grand Moff Tarkin being Mayor Adam West. Perfect example. And we'll get into more of those over the coming days as we talk about the other movies in the saga. When it comes to my rating for Blue Harvest, it's a parody, so I'm going to go 4 out of 5. In my opinion, 4 out of 5 is the best I can go for a parody. So it's getting the best I can give it, considering the fact that it's not the original movie. I really enjoy this film, this TV episode, however you want to classify it as. It did air on TV, but it also got a DVD release. So, but I definitely enjoy this, and I feel like any Star Wars fan out there should watch these at least once to see the humor that you may not pick up upon watching the original trilogy, but there's a ton of stuff that just begs to be made fun of, and the Family Guy series, I feel, does it beautifully. Don't forget to get out there on social media. Try to get those hashtags trending. Hashtag Casa D18 Studios, hashtag Renegades Reviews, hashtag Renegade Returns, and of course, the ever popular hashtag Shenanigans. We interrupt this episode of Renegades Reviews for an important announcement about
merchandising.
Merchandising? What's that?
Merchandising. Come, I'll show you. Merchandising, merchandising, where the real money's made.
Make sure you go over to teespring.com/stores/Jeff Meacham Network for all the t-shirts you see here from the West Coast professor, Jeff Meacham himself. You can get shirts for the Jeff Meacham Network, Talk Wrestling, as well as the red and gold Meachamania shirts. And while you're there, don't forget to get your shirts of the Casa D18 Studios Brotherhood, the Dads on Wrestling shirt, the Renegade JJ Williams, Statboy Sports Bar, and the hashtag Statboy Approved shirt. Make sure you go over to teespring.com/stores/Jeff Meacham Network and score your shirts today. Make sure you get out there, do what that commercial just told you. Go to teespring.com/stores/Jeff Meacham Network for all the official merchandise of the Casa D18 Studios Brotherhood. Get your Renegade JJ Williams shirt, Statboy Sports Bar, Dad's Not Always on Wrestling, hashtag Statboy Approved, hashtag Shenanigans. Get your official merchandise of the Jeff Meacham Network, 3 different designs of the Jeff Meacham Network logo for you to choose from for t-shirts, Talk Wrestling, Meachamania, and so much more. Tomorrow, right back here on the Casa D18 Studios channel, make sure you tune in for another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews when I discuss the sequel to Blue Harvest, Something, Something, Something Dark Side, starring Seth MacFarlane, Alex Borstein, Seth Green, Mila Kunis, Mike Henry, John Benjamin, James Caan, and James Woods. You're not going to want to miss out tomorrow when I bring you the Family Guy version of The Empire Strikes Back, something, something, something dark side. Much like Blue Harvest, it's very incredibly well done, and we'll get into all the intricacies of that tomorrow, right back here on the Casa D18 Studios channel. Thank you guys for watching. I know this one's been a little bit shorter than normal. I do apologize for that, but it is a parody of a film we've already covered, done by a TV show, so it's not going to be standard length. But thank you for tuning in. All of you guys that have been watching the premiere, leaving your comments over here. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. All you guys that watch on demand, leaving your comments down here. Once again, greatly appreciate it. Make sure you guys tune in tomorrow. I will see you guys next time, and may the Force be with you.